everything that I have told you, the technical details and the philosophical details are in this work, and it is recommended by a whole set of your other colleagues, including Ivan Becker. It is a very interesting book, actually. To begin with, it is an introduction by Daniel Arouse and Robert Bucher. It has an overview by Norma and Philip Renner, a foreword by Edgar Barnett, and a preface by David Gordon. And there is a video of the operation. Now, the very interesting thing about this model was that it developed out of Victor Rausch's self-hypnosis for his gallbladder. Now, it's very interesting. I used at that time the meta model to get the information as to how he did it. You see, he only knew to do it. What he did not know was the about of how he did it. And that was what I was after. You see, you only know to be you. What you do not know is how you know to be you. You only know to think. But how do you think? You do not know how you go about to get to your thinking. And it was very interesting, as you read this interview, there comes a point when Victor is so eager to tell me how I did it. And I said, no, it's not time. I'm not there at the operation yet. But finally, when I got to it, I said, well, how did you do it? And you know what he said to me? It is in there, in his words. By music, Dennis. At that time, I thought, what the hell is this A.H. talking about? By music. It was subsequently that as I explored what he really meant, that I realized that what he was talking about was non-dominant hemispheric access. However, when you read his experience, in the operation at one stage, the non-dominant hemispheric access was not sufficient. So he had to do something else to be sure that he maintained hypnoanalgesia. It's interesting. The model that was created here, we have used it for something like 16 to 17, because we didn't do the statistics, 16 to 17 different surgical cases. The first time it was done was here in Oakville for a woman who had to have a D&C. Her lungs were such that Slim Ferozi had said, can you help with your hypnosis? And it was done under hypnosis. When we were sure, after the trials of 18 cases, and everyone was successful, I said to Jennifer, we can't go on and on. 18, 5 actually is enough. According to a principle by Bandler, when you do it once and it works, it is an event. When you do it twice with this model and it works, it's a coincidence. If you do it 3 times, it is the work of the devil. If you do it 4 times, it is the work of God. But if it is 5 times, it's you. So at 18, it was more than what Bandler ever stipulated. So I said, we need a case to videotape, and then we'll write the book. And this is what it is.
Good for you.
You have to have the knowledge of medicine to be a doctor, to do doctoring things and to be a doctor. You have to have the knowledge of architecture to be in architecture and do architecture. You understand?
Yes,
you
I do.
have to have the knowledge of plumbing to be a plumber and do plumbing. Now I give you a 6. You have to have the knowledge to cancer yourself in order to have it.
I'm sorry, you have to have the knowledge to
Cancer yourself.
cancer.
Yes. You have the knowledge. You have to have the knowledge to cancer yourself to do it. Look, this is the principle. I've stated you. I gave you 5 already. To be an architect, to be a plumber.
Yes.
So what is the matter with the 6th? It's logical.
Yes.
You have to have the knowledge to be a chronic depressive, to be a depressive. You have to have the chronic knowledge to be a smoker, to be a chronic smoker, to be an alcoholic, to be a wife abuser. You have to have the knowledge. You see, if all things being equal, including the wanting to be a wife abuser, if all things are equal, you don't have the knowledge to be of wife abusing in order to be one. You may think about and fantasize how you would do it, but that is not it. The study of knowledge for us became absolutely critical in the field of our work, in hypnotherapy and psychotherapy. And we were exploring it and exploring it. And the study of knowledge was so important in ancient Greek philosophy that there was a subsection to it, and it was known as epistemology. And we thought that in our research, NSP, neurosemantic programming, and at one stage we thought NSP and epistemology were twins, maybe even the same. This thinking was flawed. It was only on 2012-0820 that we suddenly realized what NSP was about. It was the study of the knowledge about your knowledge to be your knowledge of being a wife abuser, a chronic depressive, a bipolar. Now, if you have the knowledge about your knowledge to be this way, to be a TMD, how is that you don't have it? You don't have it because you don't have the knowledge for it, sir. But they do, unconsciously they do. So if you have the knowledge about the knowledge, you can unravel it. In other words, everything is NSP, from sainthood to sin. Your job is, what is the NSP for this? And every case of TMD is different. It was, I think, I don't know what number, the American Society of Clinical Hypnosis, its scientific meeting. Once a year it has a scientific meeting. And we got up and we told depression for each person is unique. There's no such thing as depression, and everybody has it the same. It's not. How do I know that? Because I researched into what it means for one person. What is depression for you? And they will tell you. It is when I'm tired all over. And somebody else, what is depression for you? It's when I have a weight on my chest. The most unusual case of depression that I found out was, how do you know you have depression? It is when my vision goes blurred. So I cited this case at this conference. And up went this hand. It was a urologist from Montana. He said, that is true. I have this, and that is how I know I'm depressed. So I said, close your eyes. When you have your depression, you have external blurring of vision. But tell me, I said, is your internal imagery also blurred? Then he opened his eyes and he said, yes. This is the kind of research we have been involved in. So, if you have this kind of thing, and then, you see, the thing with psychiatrists is it's totally unscientific, because they say, well, you have your depression. They think they have not examined what your depression is, but they've appended that label to you. So, you know what they say? Oh, we'll try you on imipramine. This is totally unscientific. What do you mean by experimenting, trying? Well, works wonders. But it only works it because it works for those who have the weight. But the next guy is visual, blurring. It doesn't work. So that is how it is, that they are trying all sorts to see if it
Which one works?
for which. I have no time with psychiatry. So as a result of NSP and where we are today, we have, well, it may not take place in my lifetime, but the debate will have to be engaged between my students and psychiatry as to what you're doing. The resolution before the House is that what psychiatry does borders on the criminal. That is the debate. Peddling and drugging and labeling patients is criminal. Because in NSP, I have cured people